I think what makes great athletes and great leaders on the field also make great adults and great leaders in the professional world, and getting to know each one of our inductees, I can definitely see that translation and how that carries into the adult life. So it's been my privilege to get to know each of you. We're going to start off today with our invocation. Mr. Pratt's going to come up, our superintendent of schools is going to come up and pray for us.
Thank you very much. If you would please bow your head. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here today in celebration of these extraordinary achievements within the McKinney ISD athletic community, let us pause for a moment to reflect on the many blessings that you have brought us to this point. We give thanks for the individuals we honor here today, the athletes, the coaches, our staff, whose hard work, dedication, and commitment have contributed so much to our district's rich legacy of excellence. We are truly grateful for their sacrifices and their relentless pursuit of greatness, both on and off the field. We also want to express thanks to our current teachers, coaches, and mentors whose influence goes beyond the scoreboard. They are shaping the next generation of leaders, instilling not just athletic skills, but also character, discipline, integrity, characteristics that will carry them through the rest of their life. Through their guidance, our young people learn that true success is not measured just in victories, but by the growth in their mind, their body, and their spirit. As we move forward in today's celebration, let us remember that our gathering is not just about the accolades, but honoring you, Father. We ask for your blessing upon this food and fellowship here today, and may it nourish and strengthen us for our journey ahead. Father, it's in your name that we pray. Amen.
Well, welcome to our 11th annual Hall of Honor banquet. We are super excited that you are here. I always get excited. For those of you that don't know who I am, and if I had not had an opportunity to meet you, my name is Jennifer Frazier, and I am the Director of Athletics here in McKinney ISD. And I feel like, just coming out of the holiday season, there's that song, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Well, in athletics, this is the most wonderful time of the year, this event for us, because we get to celebrate so many great things. And I am just so excited, so humbled to get to stand in front of you today. As Colby mentioned, what a great induction class we had this year. We are super excited to celebrate each of you and our amazing team. I want to say first and foremost, before we kind of talk about a few things, I just want to acknowledge our superintendent, and I know you just got to meet him, but just thankful for him. And I know we refer to him as Mr. Pratt now because he's a superintendent, but for those of you, most of you know in this room, he is a coach, and that's what, and that's who he is through and through. And so it's just a really cool day today. Super excited about just his leadership and really just the foundation of what we are able to continue to accomplish in athletics. So I'm going to start. Let's just give him a round of applause, please, to begin with. Thank you. I want to just, as we kind of just, lead off of the foundation of what the candidates in the room, the inductees have done for us in the past, I want us to just pause and acknowledge the things that we're continuing to do now in athletics. McKinney ISD is a great place to be. And I can tell you firsthand, when we go to hire coaches, when we go to post jobs, the line is long of people who want to be in McKinney ISD. And we are just incredibly blessed. And we're going to spend a moment here just recognizing some very important stakeholders in the room. But I want you to know we are doing great things here and continuing to do great things. And it is a byproduct of our athletes because we have amazing students in this district. We have amazing coaches and teachers in this district and administrators and just our leadership. And so we're going to pause really quickly and just show you a highlight video of last year of just what our athletes have accomplished, and just kind of let you see all the good things that are happening still. So that kind of highlights a year ago. I can't help myself, but I want to highlight one more thing about this year. Our McKinney North volleyball team just went and competed at the state finals. And so their picture is up here. We just came off of this road to the championship. And just one small thing, we're doing great things again this year. It's super exciting. But for those of you that know, it's tough to win a championship at any level. But to get out of the Metroplex and to even get to state is it is a big deal. And so we want to highlight what we just accomplished there. The best part about it is almost the entire team is coming back. So we're excited about that. But I just want to acknowledge them as well really quickly. So just kind of just pause for a moment and just ask a few people in the room. We're going to be quick, but as I kind of call out who you are, if you would just stand up, because we just want to recognize you. Thank you for what you do for us and our opportunities that we have here so that we can continue to have success. We already acknowledged Mr. Pratt, but I also want to acknowledge our former superintendent who's here, Dr. McDaniel, if you would stand up as well too. Thank you, Dr. McDaniel. All of Sean's, he has part of his cabinet here. Cabinet, if you guys would stand up really quickly, we're going to recognize you. Thank you, guys. I know a few are missing, but thank you for being here. Again, our Board of Trustees, I cannot say enough about how blessed we are with our Board of Trustees. They are here all the time, and I know I consider you friends. So thank you for being here. Would you please stand up? I know we're missing a few, but let's acknowledge them. And super excited, we have quite a few previous Hall of Honor inductees in the room that have come back. So if you are a previous Athletic Hall of Honor inductee, would you please rise and let us acknowledge you? Okay, and then also in our back, some of our current leadership. We have our current campus coordinators at our high school and some of our principals here. So if you guys would stand up, let's acknowledge you and who you are and what you do. Thank you. I want to stop and pause and just kind of give a little shout out to Kevin McPherson and Mike Bruck. They are both on our Hall of Honor committee, and they do a great job. But specifically today, Mike is the one that Kevin writes all of the scripts today that you're about to see in the video and just spends a lot of time. He also serves as our sports information director. So, and then Mike is our voiceover. He is also the voice of McKinney ISD football and our stadium. But let's acknowledge those two as well too, and just their work that they put in today. Yes, stand up. You have to stand up. You can't just sit down. In the back, Chris Harper with Jostens. Each of our inductees today are going to receive a Hall of Honor ring as a gift to them, and he sponsors that for us, and he's an incredible sponsor of McKinney ISD Athletics, so thank you, Chris, for being here. I want to acknowledge our communication staff, Jordan and Carla, and Shane is in the room. Just thank you for supporting us here. I know they're all working behind the cameras and doing what they do best behind the scenes, but thank you to you for what you do. My athletic staff as well, too. You had a chance to meet Colby, our other assistant athletic director, Laura. Laura, I won't make you stand, but you have to at least raise your hand. Exactly. And then my entire support staff in the back. Y'all all stand up because we could not do what we do with you, please. Stand up. Thank you. Specific shout out. I know Carolyn and Colby are really the reason why this came together, and so I just want to acknowledge you. Thank you both for doing what you did today. I know it's a lot of work that goes in today, and I just get to sit up here and do the pretty part. So thank you for doing that. I wasn't going to do this, but when I saw how many of our current coaches walked in the door today, I love it. It fires me up. And so if you currently coach for us, I want you to stand up because we owe you a big applause. So stand up, please, current coaches. Thank you. I'm not going to take a lot of time because we want to get to the bulk of the banquet, but I do a couple of things that are exciting about this group today. We actually have inductees from all three high schools. And so that's a really cool thing. As you know, McKinney High it's the original high school, and so we always tend to have a lot of inductees from that school, but today we are equally represented across all 3 high schools, and so that's really cool. I think there's a couple other really cool things too, is that we have coaches that are inducted. We have a coach today that's inducted that actually coached some of our current coaches. We have an inductee today that he is inducted, and his son is now one of our head coaches. We have an inductee today that our superintendent coached. There's so many, it truly is family, and it just continues every year. It just continues to reveal itself. It continues to repeat itself. The relationships are strong, and they continue to show that year after year as people come out and support. And so I'm super excited. In our senior class, we have Mr. Cates. He was a he was an all-state linebacker team MVP that played for the McKinney High Lions. Our modern era, we have Eric Herbel. He was a 2-sport athlete who excelled not only in basketball, but incredibly in football as well, too. Part of that McKinney North team that made the first playoff run in their history. Ross Matiscik, he's still playing NFL, so if you guys want to catch him on Sundays, you can catch him on Sundays. But the first Boyd alum to earn a starting position as an NFL player, and was also a 2-sport athlete. There's a theme, right? Some of our most successful athletes were 2-sport athletes, and we're seeing that's becoming less and less nowadays. And so it's just a reminder of just the importance of kids competing in 2 sports. That's just my one plug. I promise I won't do it again. Samantha Means, when you walked in the door and I met you at the football game, I realized that you probably still could go win another state championship. A state record holder. We're glad that you're here. Philip Wood, a 3-sport standout athlete at McKinney High, and who played both ways on that 67 football team that advanced to state. So we're excited you're here. And Coach Pocock, soccer coach, he coached over 3 decades, and I had the opportunity to work with Coach Pocock and had over almost 350 wins in his career. That's incredible. So super. Contributed Will Hodges as well. Had the opportunity to meet with, to work with Will. Will was a coach. He was an administrator, a color analyst for us on our Friday night football games, and just does a great job, and still serves us as our Hall of Honor committee. And then his son is our head basketball coach at McKinney High. So when I go to those games, I have to keep an eye on Will Hodges and make sure that he's behaving in the stands. But you were super excited to celebrate him. And then finally, our 2011 volleyball team, which I was kind of coming into the district when they made their great run, and wow, it was a run. It was amazing. You ladies won 45 games that year. And we have a class act coach, Kelly Arbabi, who still, I consider her to be a dear friend, and we still get to connect with her and Allan. And so we're just so excited to celebrate each of you today. And so we just want you to sit back, enjoy it. We are going to get to hear from each of the candidates, and we have a video that's going to play and just kind of celebrate all that they've highlighted. And again, if you need anything, feel free to get up. The bathroom's around the corner on the left-hand side, and we're going to start this off. Thank you.
Senior class inductee, Don Cates. This year's senior class inductee was a leading tackler on the ferocious defenses at McKinney High School in the early 1970s. He was the spearhead of a Lions defense that surrendered just 51 points in his senior season and was later selected as a linebacker on the 1971 Class 3A All-State team. Additionally, he was voted as the team's most valuable player, a rare occurrence for a defensive player. Not only was he the place kicker, punter, and undisputed leader of Lions teams that won 15 of 20 games between 1970 and 1971, but his classmates selected him as Mr. McKinney High School in the spring of 1972. After high school, he has enjoyed a successful 30-year career in landscape irrigation throughout the Metroplex. For his leadership and legacy on the field, the McKinney ISD Athletic Hall of Honor inducts Don Cates as a member of the class of 2025.
There's no notes. Don't need any notes. But if y'all would turn in your hymnals to page 72, first and third verse. And congratulations to the other inductees. What an honor. What a place. A little bit different when we were up here or out there. But we were rated #1 in the state, Class 3A, and that was when sport was a sport. And we could play, but we didn't play good enough. We lost to Plano 7-0, on a busted play, and they won the state championship. But it molded me to the man I am because of Ron Poe. He came in here from Greenville, Texas. He was a principal, and he became our defensive coordinator junior year, and kind of took me under his wing and taught me the way it was. And if I messed up or got out of line, he'd jerk a knot in my butt. And then he was the best. So other people here I got to recognize, my family, God bless them. Charles Day, my old banker, Garland, Texas. Ronnie Gant, he was on the 66 state finalist team. But other than that, man, it's just been a whirlwind. It's 50-something years ago, and you can't believe it. You look around, and there's some studs in this room too. Max Nocky, I'll tell you right now. Philip Wood, it's no better. I mean, I saw Nocky over there, boy, playing that Waxahachie bunch that night over in Texas Stadium. Boy, they were clobbering him. I said, he ain't getting up this time. He ain't getting up. Boy, here comes Max. Max, TCU star. Well-deserved, son. Well-deserved and well done. But anyway, thank all of y'all for being here. It's unreal. It's amazing. Thank you very much, and God bless McKinney High School.
Modern Era inductees. Eric Herbel. Our first Modern Era inductee excelled as a campus and classroom leader and led McKinney North to their first ever playoff appearances in 2 different sports. In 2 seasons, he established new program bests in season and career yards passing and touchdown passes as the quarterback for Coach Sean Pratt's football teams in the 2005 and 2006 seasons that earned their first state playoff appearances. For his efforts at the helm, he was selected as the District 9 4A Co-Most Valuable Player in 2005 and the Most Valuable Player in 2006. In the spring of 2007, he was named First Team All-District in basketball as a part of Coach Darrell Kraft's first ever district championship team that eventually advanced to the regional tournament. After earning a degree from TCU, he continues his career in the oil and gas industry. For his unmatched excellence and high achievement, the McKinney ISD Athletic Hall of Honor inducts Eric Herbel as a member of the class of 2025.
This is great. Thank you for putting me before the Pro Bowler who's coming up here next. Didn't quite make it that far, but no, I just want to. I'm excited and I'm honored to. I'm honored and grateful for McKinney ISD and the athletic department for the recognition of this honor, being inducted into the McKinney Hall of Honor. One thing that I think is pretty cool about an award like this is it gives you another reason to reminisce about past memories, really good memories, and makes you think about the people who allowed those to happen. And so the 3 things that I think about would be my family, coaches, and then also some pretty cool team accomplishments that we had with my teammates and friends. So first, to my mom, dad, and my sister, thank you for your encouragement and support growing up throughout my playing days. I grew up in a competitive sports family, and I'm really grateful for all the opportunities that my parents gave my sister and I. And so with that being said, so my dad was my Little League basketball coach growing up, and my parents were very involved in the booster club with McKinney North. But I think in addition to that, my parents never missed a game. And so it was really good to know that they were always there. And we're very excited to continue that with my wife Blaze and I, with our daughter and our son as they get going in extracurricular activities, whatever they choose to do. So the second thing, the coaches. So we were specifically Coach Pratt and Coach Kraft. I also talked to Coach Crosby earlier today, and saw Coach Poe from a distance too. Very grateful for the leadership that you gave to us. Not only did you invest in us as individuals, but you also encouraged a team atmosphere. And so you expected hard work, you expected accountability, and I think that's what made our team so great. And it's just, I'm very grateful to have an opportunity to learn from you, and I just as grateful for your example. you show teenagers how to be young men, which is great. Now the fun stuff, the team's accomplishments that we had. So when I was a freshman, it was the first year that McKinney North had 4 classes. So there was an opportunity to do a lot of first as a team, whether that in whatever sport it was. And so to be a member of the football team, that first playoff appearance, first playoff win, I got to go play in Texas Stadium against Matthew Stafford in Highland Park. They kicked a field goal there at the end of the game. They beat us 59-17, which is unfortunate. But then and then in basketball, Coach Pratt, we made it to the Sweet 16, which I think he's been back twice since then, but I think to this point it's the furthest McKinney North has been to this point. So those are just really great memories that I enjoy looking back on, and I'm very grateful for those times. I think that's about it. Thank you again, everybody. Jennifer Colby, this is great. This has been fantastic to be a part of. Enjoyed coming down in September during the halftime presentation. It was really good to get back here. And thank you again. Very grateful.
Ross Matiscik, a dominating linebacker during McKinney Boyd's successful football run in the early 2010s, the second modern-era inductee continues to play the sport at the highest level. Named the District 10-5A Defensive Newcomer of the Year as a sophomore, he earned first-team All-District selection in his junior and senior seasons, and honorable mention All-State and second-team Academic All-State as a senior. Additionally, he lettered in 2 seasons for the Broncos baseball team as a catcher. He continued his football career at Baylor University, where he registered 52 starts at linebacker and deep snapper for the Bears from 2015 to 2019. Signed as an undrafted free agent by the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars, he eventually earned the starting job as long snapper, and in 2023, he was selected to the NFL Pro Bowl. For his legacy and continued success, the McKinney ISD Athletic Hall of Honor inducts Ross Matiscik as a member of the class of 2025.
So I did write some notes, so I'm going to kind of key off those a little bit. I wanted to thank McKinney ISD. What a wonderful event. What a room full of great people, and just wanted to say thank you to you guys. Thank you to, all the coaches I had throughout the years that really inspired me to be the best, and, really turned a boy into a man, and really showed me what it takes to be great and to be dedicated towards a craft. I want to congratulate all the other inductees. It's a huge honor, and I just want to say congratulations. I get to join my future brother-in-law, David, so I'm excited to be a part of that family as well. Sorry, Ryan, to leave you out there. But McKinney is such a cool place. It's a place full of people that inspire you to dream big and be the best version of yourself, but along the way, they hold you accountable, and they give you every resource humanly possible to do that. And you see the room we're in today, you see the field behind us, just a testament to that statement. My teammates, you guys, I would say my favorite memories with you guys is on the field, but it's not. It's in the locker room, it's during spring ball, it's 6 a.m. on the track. That's what I miss the most when I come up here and talk about them, is just that camaraderie we had. To my dad, you always tell me how proud of you, how proud you are of me, but I'm just really proud of you. You taught me and my brothers how to treat a woman, and you show us every day by how you love mom. That's really cool, and you raise us in a household full of standards, right? Yeah, you taught me that if you want something in life, go get it, and I think the most influential thing you told me is that luck is when opportunity meets preparedness, and you told me if you believe that and you work hard, a lot of people are going to call you lucky, so I think I'm pretty lucky. You're a role model, and you respect others the right way, and you just are someone I look up to, and you are my hero, so I do appreciate you, Dad. Mom, I had a coach one time that told me, if you want to be a tough person, be tough like your mother. And you're the toughest person I know. You hold me accountable. You're the rock of our family. From washing sweaty clothes to having meals ready when we got home from practice. you are a rock, and you're the person that I can call and just kind of get my mind off things. So I love you, Mom. To my two brothers, they couldn't be here today, but to my older brother, Payne, he really taught me how to work hard. He taught me that if you, like I said, if you want something, go get it. He's the hardest worker in the room, and he taught me to dream big. If you want to achieve anything, you can do it. And not only did he tell me that, but he led by example. So I really appreciate you, Payne. My younger brother, Brent, I would say little, but he's not little. He's bigger than me. And, when my older brother left for college, I was a freshman. I was a sophomore. My little brother was in 7th grade. And, we missed Payne, but it was kind of a cool opportunity because me and Brent got to develop a new relationship. And it was just us two in the house. And although he was my biggest supporter, being my size and us being brothers, he was my biggest competitor. And I'll never tell him that, but on the driveway, he pushed me harder in one-on-one basketball. If we were running routes, I would drag him up to Boyd with me in the summers. He would do PC with the seniors. He didn't have an option, but it's either he had to fit in and kind of just keep up with us, and he did that, and he pushed me to be the best I can be. To my beautiful fiance, Allison, you're perfect. I love you for just the way that you are and for being yourself. I can lean on you, and I know if anyone that has a significant other, that's a spouse or a player, that's a coach or a player, work comes home with you sometimes, and it can get real stressful, but, you always keep me humble, and you always keep me in a good headspace, so thank you for that. And then last but not least, I would like to thank my late grandfather, Papa Rod. He was a man that loved sports, and he was a big Browns fan. He loved the Browns, but I know up in heaven right now, he's wearing black and teal, and he's smiling proud, so thank you.
Samantha means she was the first dominant runner in the history of McKinney North track and cross country and brought home the school's first ever individual state championship. A 6-time all-state selection and 7-time medalist, she won the Class 4A cross country state championship and the 3,200 meter state championship as a senior in 2006-2007. As a sophomore, she placed 2nd and 4th in the 1,600 and 3,200 meters at the state track meet, 2nd and 3rd in those events as a junior, and prevailed with gold in the 3,200 meters and silver in the 1,600 meters as a senior. She continued her track career at SMU, and after earning a degree in psychology, works as a qualified pension administrator in the Dallas area. For setting the standard in distance running and continued pursuit of excellence, the McKinney ISD Athletic Hall of Honor inducts Samantha Means as a member of the class of 2025.
All right, I made some notes too. My path to becoming a champion runner was paved with unexpected opportunities and an unwavering family support. This sounds kind of cliche, but I did not choose long distance running as my passion. It happened in 8th grade at Johnson Middle School when Coach Jones approached me one day after volleyball practice to run a cross country meet that Saturday. They were a girl short. I said, sure, why not? Well, I won. So that catapulted me into a whole new level of running. From that point on, I knew I was about to do something special. As a family, we went all in. In the beginning, my mom would follow me in the car yelling, go faster! And she would sign me up for 5Ks on the weekends to keep racing sharp. And thank goodness she did, because that's where I met Terry Jessup for the Metroplex Striders. When we first met Terry, he told me my shoes were clunkers and I needed to run with a purpose. That's when I decided I needed structure in my running and started running around Town Lake in McKinney. My brother would be my pacer for the first 400 meters, and also keep me hydrated, giving the very special important job of hydration specialist. Then there was my dad. I feel so lucky to have had those years with him. We were a team and still are. My dad is not one to just do things. Anyone that knows him knows he's committed. He was constantly researching different techniques, food, pacing, times, anything to make me the best. He was committed to me and my dreams. When I first started running Town Lake, he would actually run each lap with me. I eventually got a little too fast and ran a little too long, and that's when my brother jumped in to run the first 400. My dad was at every practice, every race, every mile, and every trip to Austin. Nothing was going to interrupt my goals, not even puppy love. Well, that puppy love turned into marriage and 3 kids later. Sorry, Ryan, you are with a family that runs 5Ks on the holidays. With Terry's program, my dad's coaching, my mom's belief that I would be the best, my brother's water skills to keep me hydrated, and a smidge of my hard work, it made me here today. Thank you so much for this honor, and I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you, McKinney.
Legends Class inductee, Philip Wood. This year's Legends Class inductee is honored for his outstanding achievements in football, basketball, and track. Philip Wood was a starting quarterback and an all-state defensive back for the 1967 McKinney Lions football team that finished as state semifinalists. Despite losing to an eventual state champion Brownwood, the Lions recorded 8 shutouts in their 11-2-1 record. Valedictorian of the McKinney High School class of 1968, he was an all-district selection in basketball and a regional qualifier in both hurdle races for the Lions track team. He was most pivotal as quarterback and safety for the Lions football team that advanced to the 3A state semifinals, leading the team in scoring and rushing and also handling the punting duties. He later played quarterback at Rice University, leading the team in passing in 1970. For his achievements on the field, on the court, and on the track, the McKinney ISD Athletic Hall of Honor inducts Philip Wood as a member of the class of 2025.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, just let me say how grateful I am to be recognized in this manner. And I would like to pay a special thanks to Jennifer Frazier, Colby Peak, and the Hall of Honor Selection Committee for this award. I would also like to congratulate all the other recipients today for their outstanding athletic achievements. They're pretty phenomenal. I'm very fortunate to have several of my family members here today, along with some of my high school and college teammates. They include my wife, Peggy, 3 of our 4 children and their spouses, my older sister, Becky Foster, and her husband, Jim, and my younger brother, Scott Wood, all 3 of which graduated from McKinney High School. Also, my best friend, roommate, and teammate at Rice, Michael Phillips, and his wife, Dana. And last but not least, my high school teammate and a member of the 66 state finalist team and the longest running Collin County Sheriff, Terry Box. Thank you all for being here and sharing this day with me. To be inducted in the Hall of Honor is not just an acknowledgement of one's achievements, it is a profound reminder of the incredible community and teammates and coaches and family members who helped make it possible. Foremost among those are my parents, who unfortunately cannot be here today, but I know they're looking down on me with a big smile on their faces. They were my biggest supporters and almost never missed an athletic event in which I participated. The values they instilled in me as a young child helped guide me during my athletic career in so many other ways. To my coaches and teachers, thank you for instilling in me not just the skills to succeed on the field, but also the values of discipline, perseverance, and sportsmanship that have guided me throughout my life. You taught me that the lessons we learn in athletics go far beyond the playing field. They shape who we are as individuals. And to my teammates, this honor is as much yours as it is mine. Every victory we've celebrated and every challenge we faced together taught me the true meaning of camaraderie and lasting friendship. I am forever grateful for those memories and the bonds that we forged during that time. Today, as I reflect on the path that brought me here, I'm reminded of how much this school and its athletic program have shaped my life. McKinney is and was a very special place. Thank you again for this recognition. I'm truly honored and grateful.
Coach inductee, Allan Pocock, arguably the father of McKinney High School's boys soccer. This year's coach inductee established a legacy that deserves recognition. He coached boys soccer at McKinney High School for the better part of 3 decades. Along the way, he won more than 350 matches and 6 district championships. His teams qualified for the playoffs in 18 different seasons. His 2000 team reached the regional finals, and the 2013 Lions made it to the regional semifinals. A 2018 inductee into the Texas Association of Soccer Coaches Hall of Honor, his indelible mark on Texas high school soccer and McKinney ISD soccer will be measured for years to come, as 3 of the 6 current head soccer coaches in McKinney ISD are former players of Coach Pocock. For his impact on McKinney ISD soccer, his former players, and his fellow coaches, the McKinney ISD Athletic Hall of Honor inducts Coach Allan Pocock as a member of the class of 2025.
There still is nothing like a Mike Bruck introduction. Man. And Kevin, that script. Thank you, Mike, for all those years introducing us in the stadiums and at soccer banquets, several of them right here in this room. It's kind of surreal to be up. Usually I'm here at a banquet, end of the season, giving out our team awards to players, but to stand in front of all the faces I see here, so many of them affiliated with my very first days as a coach here and a teacher. Had Bill Poe as freshman English my first year. But I can't believe it's already been 4 years since my retirement. And those 30 years as a McKinney Lion went by so fast, it seems now. It's also surreal to be looking up at all of the other many coaching legends and future legends, and have the honor to join your ranks. Thanks, folks. I need to also have some notes up here, because as a number of my former players and assistants know, you better get that man on a script or he's going to start talking about Manchester United. But it was a sincere privilege to coach with and even against so many quality fellow coaches and players throughout the years. I want to express my deepest gratitude for the opportunity to do this here today. I can't put into words quite the feelings I experienced after getting that incredible call from Coach Pratt back in the spring that I was going to be a part of the Hall of Honor. And your news, along with Coach Frazier's enthusiastic message, was so very timely and a very challenging year for our family. And I want to thank you very much. Thank you all to the committee for your consideration in joining these ranks. But as far as thanks, I really want to begin by thanking Coach Ron Poe and McKinney High for taking a chance on this fresh-faced kid right out of Baylor University. I know I looked like some 14-year-old ball boy probably walking into the coach's office that first day in 1991, and giving me my first teaching and coaching job, which would turn into the one and only I'd have for 30 years. Thank you, Coach, for not holding my Chicago upbringing against me, where my high school and college playing took place. But I remember after finding out football would be my fall coaching assignment, before the soccer season, that first year I was JV soccer coach. I went back to visit my parents after a couple weeks on the weekend and sit down for a great dinner with Mom, Dad, Mike, and Penny back there with my wife, Courtney. And Dad asked me, "So what's it like? What's football like? You don't know anything about it. What do you do? How's it going?" Come on, Dad, the 85 Bears. Come on, I know something about football. Come on. That was my senior year in high school. But I said, I started rambling just about, Coach Poe, Coach Hodges. I said, Dodge, Hardin, Whitman. I half expected to hear somebody yell out, "Get that communist sport coach off the stage there." I can still hear Whitman yelling that. Naki that year, I said, I feel like I work for the Dallas Cowboys, Mom and Dad. This is 30 years ago, remember? 35 years ago. I was saying something a little different back then. But thank you, Coach, for all the confidence and guidance you gave me as a young coach and teaching me what's expected with our roles here, which I know resulted in success for Lions soccer. I hope I did also do okay on freshman football staff. Thank God there was an opening with the video assignment. I love seeing Derek Watts come and say hi to me as soon as we got here. That just reminded me about those days cramming those freshman video helpers on Friday night in the back of my Nissan pickup. They never complained out loud about that, at least. But that was great to see you, Derek. Thank you also for asking fellow inductee Coach Hodges back then. And this is just a tremendous feeling. When I found out Hodges is going the same year as me, this is phenomenal. I appreciate you, Coach. I don't know if it was a punishment or what, but to say, Will, could you take this guy under your wing? And within a week of being there, sitting down, having dinner with Jan and Jake and you at their house in Plano, and helped me find my way, kind of gave me personality in the coaching staff and on campus there at McKinney High. I appreciate that, Coach. And I know you're going after me, so I'm going to not tell that story there. But I appreciate, Coach, everything you may or may not know that you taught me. And, Coach, I appreciate you promoting me that next year to head coach, even after you and Hodges came to my wedding and watched two of my groomsmen pass out cold right in the middle of the ceremony. I thought I was going to have to ask the two of you to come up and stand in there 33 years ago. I know, I'm sorry, Courtney, too soon. Too soon. Thank you, Coach Pratt and Coach Frazier, for all your enthusiasm for McKinney High soccer through the years, even after McKinney ISD expanded to 2 high schools and then 3 high schools, state championships at all 3 high schools. Thanks to you and many others in the administrative roles for your mentorship and encouraging us to pursue excellence of all types in our programs and continue to do so with all of McKinney ISD athletics. Finally, I want to give a shout out to the folks back at our tables back there for all you've meant to my career. Fred Kaiser, brother, thank you for your friendship and support. 15 years here, the last 12 or so while I was active coach. Even though we were usually always opponents, except for that one Tasco All-Star game. I appreciate you. But Lions soccer alumni there, sitting at that table, I want to tell you, one of the richest rewards in this profession, I know media and some folks, they like to point out, even teachers, it's not a very high-paying career to take on, but it's things like this that make you feel like $1 million. Getting to see those alumni and become outstanding players, excel in college, and return to be your assistants, doing battle together now on the sidelines instead of listening to me yell at you from the sidelines. I want to tell you guys, the 4 individuals who I got to experience with back there, first Daniel Dollinger, member of the first varsity team I ever coached that won the first ever soccer playoff game. Then Danny Lowe, started Boyd program. Matt Ellis, current head coach, Lions gaffer, McKinney High. And then CJ Shelton. Are you wearing any orange, CJ? Yes. Head coach at North. Guys, you're such a huge part of hundreds of those wins and many lifelong memories I'll never forget, on and off the field. In many ways, y'all have a massive role in me being up here on stage right now, and I thank you. And after so many end-of-the-year banquets, I know you're very grateful for the 3 to 5 minute acceptance speech guideline we were given, guys, so I'll try to wrap that up. The final three folks that I want to show my gratitude to, I love you with all my heart, and I want to say thank you, Mom and Dad, Mike and Penny. I'm so very, very grateful to God y'all are here today to have a part in this and be here. And my dear wife, Courtney, thank you for all your unconditional love and support those many years, way back when I was on the field and then 30 on the sidelines. That's a lot of cold nights in the stands. And thanks for being my biggest fans. Thank you for never coming down too harshly on me, Dad, when you were coaching in college and I was sneaking off that Gatorade from the sideline bench out there in Georgia. And raising me to love your sport, love God and family. And Courtney, last but not least, I couldn't possibly have done all of this without you. And thank you for always having my back. I hope I always have and will continue to with you. Congratulations to all recipients today. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much for this honor. Thank you.
Contributor inductee Will Hodges. The 2025 Contributor Inductee has been a significant part of McKinney ISD athletics for more than 40 years, doing so in a variety of ways. He began as an assistant football coach under fellow Hall of Honor member Ron Poe and later served as a high school administrator and assistant athletic director. After retirement, he's been a part of the Hall of Honor committee since its inception and recently concluded a 15-year stint as the color analyst for McKinney ISD football and basketball radio broadcasts. A proud graduate of Gonzales High School and Southwest Texas State University, he now spends his days with his wife Jan, doting on his grandchildren and quietly watching his son lead the McKinney Lions boys basketball program as head coach. For his relentless pursuit of doing things the right way and for his dedication to his school and his community, the McKinney ISD Athletic Hall of Honor inducts Will Hodges as a member of the class of 2025.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to tell you up front, I'm kind of an emotional guy. So I've got a speech, and it's written down. I'm going to try to make it through without crying. It's doubtful. I must begin by telling you that I'm truly humbled by this honor. Many fantastic coaches, athletes, and teams are in this prestigious group. To be included is more than I could have ever imagined when Coach Poe hired me in the spring of 1983. I wish to thank the Hall of Honor Committee for their belief that I belong in this group. I'd also like to thank Coach Pratt, who spearheaded the formation of the Hall of Honor after he was selected from his 86 state championship team in Plano to accept the honor for them. And he said, you know what, we need this in McKinney. My thanks to Athletic Director Jennifer Fraser for picking up the mantle from Coach Pratt. Her assistant ADs, Laura Cahey and Colby Peak. And most importantly, the ladies that do all the work behind the scenes, the administrative assistants, that make every function. When you go to an athletic event in MISD, the ladies, the support staff have made sure that those things are run well. I was told a long time ago by my wife to always thank your spouse. So thank you. Coaches have some crazy hours. There's a lot of days that you leave before the kids are out of bed, and you get home after they're already asleep. So your wives or your spouses have to be supportive and understanding of the demands on your time, and mine sure was. To my wife, Jan, who I've been married almost 45 years, I know she doesn't look it. My thanks, my undying appreciation. To anyone that knows both Jan and me, they will agree that I outkicked my coverage by possibly the largest margin in history. I'd also like to recognize my son, Jake, and his lovely wife, Mary, and the two cutest, smartest, well-mannered granddaughters in the whole world, Millie and Maggie. The M&M girls are truly a huge blessing in our family's life. Back to Jake for a second. He's without a doubt the best coach in the family. And if you don't believe me, just ask him. I also want to recognize my sister-in-law, Sherry. I did not have any sisters growing up, but I gained one when I got married, and I'm fortunate. My cousin Nancy, who made the trip up here from Houston today. Nancy and I are part of 14 grandchildren, first cousins, and there's not very many of us left, which makes it so much more special when we get to see each other. Coach Bo, where do I start? Thank you for being such a mentor and guide, and most of all, a friend throughout my career. I showed up at Coach Poe's office in the spring of 1983 with my one-page resume that also included my references. Cold call, knocked on the door. You know, surely I should have known better than that. But he invited me in. We sat down, started having a conversation, talking X's and O's, talking philosophy, and right in the middle, he threw me a curveball. He said, "How attached are you to that mustache?" Well, this was the age of Tom Selleck and, Magnum P.I. So, and I'd been working on this thing about 6 years, so I was real proud of it. And I said, I thought to myself, well, let's see how how he wants me to answer this. I said, Coach, if you've got a razor in 2 minutes, I'll show you how unattached I am to this mustache. I guess that was a good answer because that's the day I got hired at McKinney Independent School District. My dad passed away my first year in coaching. I was 26 years old. And Coach Poe became more than just my boss, more than just my mentor. He became the wise man that I went to for questions, answers to questions that you have. And he was always there for me. I have so much respect for Coach. I've never called him by his first name, even though he's asked me to several times. When I went to be his assistant athletic director, he said, "You can call me Ron." I said, "Sure, Coach Poe." Okay. Never have. He'll always be Coach Poe to me. I'd also like to thank the older coaches on the varsity staff when I first got hired. Those guys were 35 and 36 then. They're way older than that now. But Randall Hales and Ronnie Tips and Gary Harden were not just mentors, they became lifelong friends. And I was fortunate to grow up coaching under them. Also here with me today are some younger coaches that, as time passed, I tried to take what had been poured into me and in turn poured into them. So to Lee Bishop, he had the 9 state championship rings at Aledo, Texas. You know, Lee was my assistant offensive line, and Coach Poe has told me several times, I had the wrong guy in charge. This guy won 9 rings, Hodges. Daryl Kraft and Wes Watson, both with over 400 wins as basketball coaches in McKinney ISD. They've all shared that maybe 1 or 2 things that I've passed along to them have helped in their career, and it makes me feel good. Additionally, several unbelievable players are here with me today. Some I invited, some who are on the Hall of Honor committee. David Watts, Max Nocky, Billy Don Poe, Matt Poe, big kid Rodney Haynes. You talk about really good players, but they were good players because they worked really hard and they had some talent and they were incredibly tough guys. And they also, all of those guys gave us permission to coach them. You know, and I don't know if I can make everybody understand what that means, but they didn't get their feelings hurt. They didn't pout. They just said, yes, sir, and got after it. Melvin Crosby is also here today, a member of the committee. Melvin's a great guy. He's a preacher. When he was playing at McKinney High, may have been the dirtiest football player we ever had. But that's another story for another time. I had 3 different phases of my career at McKinney Independent School District. I was a coach and teacher. I became an assistant principal, and then I got the opportunity to be the assistant athletic director. And then after I retired, Coach Pratt came to me and said, what do you think about doing color analyst on the radio? And I said, no, I can't do that. And he said, yeah, I think you're going to be good at it. Well, when people heard I got the job, they said, you need to look into that delay button. You know, you hit that delay button before you talk. Or the mute button. I didn't know what they were talking about. Never was a problem. Once I found out that the FCC fine was $25,000, never a problem after that. I enjoyed, you know, completely different, the radio part, the media part, and I was never a big media guy, never really a fan. But it gave me an opportunity, I felt like, every Thursday and Friday night when our teams were playing, or in basketball, Tuesday and Friday nights, to highlight our coaches and players. That's all I wanted to do. And whether we won, whether we lost, how we played, there's something positive that happened for the Lions or the Bulldogs or the Broncos. I wasn't going to forget. I have to, I've kind of skipped around, folks, I'm sorry. I want to also congratulate all the inductees. I either watched you play or my son played against you or I heard about you. Stories and sitting around the field house, and Coach Poe said, we need a linebacker like Don Cates. Where's the linebackers like Don Cates? Or Gary Harden, who couldn't be here today, talking about Phillip Wood and what a 3-sport athlete was really supposed to look like. So my congratulations. What Samantha means, that's a lot of medals, a lot of state championship medals and runner-up state medals. And the linebacker from Boyd would hit you from the moment you stepped on one white line before you cross the other line. And that's how football is played, folks. I need to talk about 2 men, and I've gone over my time. You know, what are they going to do, fire me? Two guys that really shaped my life. Jerry Bivens. was an assistant coach at Gonzales High School. He's the guy who inspired me to be a coach. Playing for him, he built relationships with his players while demanding excellence and without demeaning the individual. If you played really well, he'd pull you in close as you're walking off the grass. He said, man, you really did some good things tonight. And then, but this could be better. If you'll do this, this will be better. And I really think I learned, don't be satisfied. Don't be satisfied. Don't let being good be the enemy of being excellent. And then secondly, my college coach, Jim Wacker. Coach Wacker recruited me to Texas Lutheran College, the smallest level of four-year schools playing football. And he's a great guy, a positive guy. And while I was there, we won the national championship. And I've been wearing the ring ever since, except when I lost it a couple of times. My wife would call the ring company and get another one made. But that indirectly, that winning that national championship brought me to McKinney. So, well, how does that work? My first 3 years in business, I drove north on 75. We were living in Plano to some little schools north of here. And every day I passed the stadium. And on the side of the field house was painted McKinney Lions state champions 1979. And every day I'd drive by there and I'd say, I got to get a job there. I got to get a job there. And I did. Before I close, I must say that God is good. I see several amazing friends here from my church that are here to support me. Thank you for being such a great example of living a Christian life. And thank you for holding me accountable. Thank you again to the Hall of Honor Committee.
Team inductee, the 2011 McKinney Boyd Volleyball Team. This year's team inductee left a mark that will be difficult to repeat, let alone surpass. The 2011 McKinney Boyd Volleyball Team, under the direction of first ever coach Kelly Arbabi, amassed an impressive 45-7 record en route to a berth in the Class 5A State Volleyball Finals. The Lady Broncos' dominance was evident throughout the season, as they did not drop a set in all of district play and lost only one set in their first 5 playoff matches. Led by All-State middle blocker and district MVP Megan Mollett and senior Drew Darling, the Lady Broncos rolled through the regular season with a perfect record in District 10 5A and then took care of Dallas Skyline, Bryan, Saxe, Georgetown, Austin Westlake, and Cypress Falls in the playoffs before falling to state champion Coppell in 4 sets. For their remarkable run in an unforgettable season, the McKinney ISD Athletic Hall of Honor inducts the 2011 McKinney Boyd Volleyball Team as members of the class of 2025.
This is so fun. I haven't seen them in so long. Most of them I haven't seen in a long time, so this has been such an honor to see them again. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an absolute privilege to be here today to celebrate the 2011 McKinney Boyd Volleyball Team's induction into the McKinney ISD Hall of Honor. I'm Kelly Arbabi, and I want to start by congratulating all of the inductees. It's so nice to have our hard work recognized, and I'm totally okay if our stories keep getting better and better as we get older. The 2011 volleyball team wasn't just special. They were extraordinary. They were bold. They were relentless, and yes, occasionally dramatic. But that's exactly what made them so iconic. Their passion, fire, and unwavering determination left a lasting mark on everyone who watched them play. They set the bar for all of the McKinney Boyd volleyball teams who followed them. For years, the younger volleyball players looked up to them, talking about them as if they were legends. And honestly, they were. We may have come up short in the state championship that year, but it helps to know that the best player on the opposing team went on to become one of the best players in the world. Today, she's a starter for the U.S. Olympic team. This past summer during the Olympics, our group chat was buzzing as we were reminiscing about the good old days when we played against Chiaka. Before I get to the heart of this speech, I want to take a moment to personally thank Dr. Rick McDaniel, Dr. Jennifer Pearson, Don Drake, Sean Pratt, Jennifer Frazier, and the committee for the committee. Your support helped create teams that excelled and allowed the coaches to focus on what mattered most, the players. Thank you so much. Now let me tell you more about this team. They came in with big personalities and even bigger hearts. Every single practice was filled with energy, passion, and an unrelenting focus on their goal. All season, we rallied around the number 259, the exact number of miles from McKinney Boyd High School to Texas State University, where the state tournament was held. This team was fiercely competitive, and when they stepped on the court, they gave nothing less than 100% every single time. I want to take a moment to recognize each of the incredible women who made the journey back to McKinney to receive this honor. While it's impossible to truly capture their contributions in just a sentence, I want them to know how deeply I appreciate everything they brought to the team and how much they mean to me. Megan Millette couldn't be here today, but her natural talent was undeniable. She's still the most awarded player ever to wear the Bronco uniform. Her talent, her smile, her sense of humor, and competitiveness made her a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Kaylee Sieber, whose competitiveness was unmatched. She was like having a coach on the floor. Without a doubt, she was the most competitive player I ever had the privilege of coaching at McKinney Boyd. And I'm so grateful for that. Gosh. Krista, steady and hilarious and absolutely brilliant. Wise behind her years, she was the glue that held the team together when things got chaotic. Her down-to-earth humor brought so much joy to everyone around her. Emma, she played the game of her life in the semifinal match when we needed it the most, proving that heart and grit are just as important as talent. And no matter the situation, she always had a smile on her face. Jade was loved by everyone and always the most stylish on the team. Her pregame dancing kept us all laughing, and she embodied what it means to be the ultimate teammate and unwavering supporter. Maddie, she brought calm and grace to the team. Always steady and dependable, she was an incredible teammate, and her grit and persistence have carried over into her success as an adult. Brittany Phelan had a style all her own, and she was loved by everyone around her, and her beautiful setting helped all of her hitters have an outstanding season. And of course, who could forget Allie? She was always the fiery spark that the team needed. When we ran out of subs in the state semifinal match and she had never served in a game the entire season, she stepped up to serve with the confidence and flair of a supermodel walking on a runway. Her poise and determination in that moment was unforgettable. Drew Darling, she'll always be Drew Darling. Sorry, Tyler. Drew was our anchor, always showing up to play her best and giving steady leadership. She also had the best lighthearted humor, no matter the pressure. What truly set her apart as a leader, though, was her ability to make everyone around her feel good about themselves. A quality that we could all learn from and admire. It's been so much fun to watch you grow up, begin your careers, start your families, and support each other through life's highs and lows. You were there for each other in 2011, and you will always be there for each other in moments of triumph and heartache. Drew, your dad is smiling down on you right now, and I know he's so proud of you. And some of you are even coaching the next generation. I want to congratulate Coach Allie Cobb on your own state championship win this past year. This team wasn't just about stats or trophies, though we had plenty of those. It was about the moments we shared, the lessons we learned, and the bonds we built. Being a part of your journey has been one of the greatest honors of my life. I want to thank my parents for always showing up for me, both as a player and as a coach. Showing up matters, and they are here today, still cheering me on. To my husband, Allan, who became a McKinney Boyd volleyball fan in 2011, that was a fun season to join. I tried to tell him during that time that it really isn't normal to go to state. And then we did it again in 2012, so maybe he was my lucky charm. And to my kids, Quinn and Aaron, who knows, maybe one day I'll come out of retirement to coach one of you. Finally, we couldn't have done any of this without my assistant coach and best friend, Laura. You've been by my side through it all. I love that our journey has come full circle and now our kids are teammates. And we get to sit side by side in the bleachers. To the 2011 team, you were more than just players, you were a family. That year you made me laugh and cry and beam with pride. Every moment was worth it. Congratulations on this incredible honor. You deserve every bit of it. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys.
It's always fun to hear the stories. We talk about the good old days, right? It's funny, Coach Hodges, to hear you tell the story about Coach Poe asking you to shave your mustache, because if I said that to a coach today, I'd probably land in the HR office. Ask somebody to shave off their mustache. So, let's pause really quickly. If you are a spouse or parent or sibling, somebody that's important to one of these inductees, would you please stand up, because what you have done is a big part of their success. So we want to stand up and honor you, please. Awesome. And then I also, too, want to just end again, just recognize our Hall of Honor committee. And before I ask you to stand, it is so important what these committee members do. They are committed to McKinney ISD athletics. We meet several times throughout the year to just to go over candidates in the selection process, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all, because we have so many amazing candidates to choose from. If you ever feel like there's somebody you want to nominate, then let us know. We have a process for how that works, and so we would love to, if you have somebody that you feel like is worthy of being in the Hall of Honor, then let us know. But if you're a current Hall of Honor committee member, would you please stand? We want to recognize you. Fantastic. And I'm just going to close and say this. Ross, you kind of touched on it a little bit about luck and what it is to be prepared and disciplined. And I'm reading a book right now, and it talks about the top of the top who are successful in life. And there's all these characteristics that you have to be in order to kind of be considered that elitist and success in life. And it talks about, part of it is that people think that really successful people are lucky, that luck is a part of what their life is. And luck does come, but it comes to those people mostly who are prepared and they're disciplined. They prepare themselves and they discipline themselves to put themselves in situations so that it's easier for luck to find them. And I think our candidates, our inductees today, you are a shining example of that. You have not only been successful as athletes, coaches, contributors, all the things, but you've also led a life of success beyond the athletic field. And it's just a reminder. And so just incredible accomplishments. We celebrate you. Thank you for just being good people. And it's just such a reminder, it can be done. It can be done. You can be an outstanding athlete, you can be an outstanding coach, you can be an outstanding administrator, and still just do life and do people really well. And so thank you for that reminder. Please feel free to stay around and to celebrate. If you want to go outside on the deck and take pictures in front of the video board, please do that. We have our screen up over here. I would like all of our inductees to come over here. We're going to take a quick group picture. If you would do that for me really quickly before people grab you up. I've got 2 people's rings up here that I'm hawking. So starting at $20 if you want them back. But again, thank you again. Appreciate it. Feel free to come back next year. Thank you. Have a good day.